Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and welcome to the watch along for Leeds United against Brentford at Elland Road. Kickoff just 15 minutes away. A huge game for Leeds United, a huge game for Brentford, but also big games for the likes of West Ham United, Nottingham Forest, Spurs, Everton, Brentford going for European football, Leeds United trying to stay in the Premier League. We should have a really good game at Elland Road tonight. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your company, so please do keep me going in the live chat, get your thoughts in as we go on throughout, and if you just forgive me for a couple of seconds as I just make sure that my software is up and running at my end so I can get your comments up on the screen throughout this show over the next couple of hours. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Brentford this evening. Going against Leeds United. I'm not anti-Leeds United. I'm just pro-West Ham United. Therefore, we need an away win this evening. Just been watching the Everton game. I watched the Brighton beat Liverpool earlier on. It was a good game. I watched that one. I skipped the Fulham Burnley one today. Been decorating Grace's bedroom. So I want to get her bedroom and the office done by the end of the international break. That's my aim. So I've got 2 weeks to do it really. So fingers crossed I can get there. The problem is I haven't ordered anything that I require for the office yet. So that's going to be the hassle. I've got the curtain pole, but that's because we had it in the old house. But I'm going to get those wooden slats for the wall. Not ordered them yet because I've discovered that this wall is an awkward height. So those wall panels you get are 2.4. This wall is 2.3. Nice one. And I don't like the idea of trimming 10 centimetres off the bottom of it. So I've either got to pay more money and they do it, which I dislike the idea of that, to be honest. The price goes up quite a lot. I've got to do it myself and pray that I do a good job. So I'm going to do that. At the end of the day, no one's going to see the bottom of the top, are they? I'd probably put the crappy bit on the bottom, right? No one would see that. You're just going to see the middle bit and that'll be intact. So that's what I'm going to do. So the slats are okay. The only problem is I've been sucked in an LED light strip to go in the middle of the slats. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have one of them. 75 quid for one light. Pfft, I'm just going to sit in darkness. I thought it would look cool having an LED light strip. Forget it. Not at 75 quid. Do one. I'll do well with my slat wall. Anyway, right. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's get your comments up on the screen. The Leeds United team and Brentford teams on the screen next to me. I'm not going to... Well, I'll give you my thoughts on them in just a second. Pop up saying, fancy a Brentford win. They'll be level on points with Chelsea if they win. Outside chance of Champions League. Well, yeah, they do. So do Everton. Everton with a massive win against Chelsea this evening, but they deserved it. They absolutely battered them. Everton were outstanding. Chelsea, crap. Really, really crap. Liverpool, not very good. Everton and Brentford should be going, do you know what? We fancy a little bit of this. We fancy a little bit of Champions League. They've got to assume Aston Villa is going to go on and win the Europa League. There is a set of circumstances that sixth place gets Champions League football. So they've got to aim for it. They've got to assume that 6 will be Champions League football. Adrian saying Villa will be even more incentivised to win tomorrow by Liverpool and Chelsea's scores today. You could say that will pressure's off them. If they lose, they don't lose any ground, but they're one game less, one game closer to Champions League football. Voda saying Leeds seem to have gone pretty attacking and Dutara is missing. I'm a bit worried, but hopefully Brentford do us West Ham fans a favour. Bob saying the best of the rest are having a real purple patch this season. It's the Premier League, it's competitive. Hlim saying if Everton win his next 2 games, definitely a chance for Champions League football. Lay Park is saying just watching one Leeds just now, they're confident. Connor will be confident. Well, to be fair, Connor was predicting a draw, I think, because he changed his opinion. He said when we did relegation rhythm on one Leeds, when we did the podcast, I'm sure he said 2-2. Ricky said all Villa need to do tomorrow is put up today's results. That's all the motivation they need, unfortunately. Matt, thank you very much. That's very, very kind of you, Matt. He's donated $20. I'm going to put that towards my LED light. That's what this channel's doing. My Tartan Geo channel, on March, I'm on course for hitting £200 revenue for the first time ever on Tartan Geo. So that's my money for my Slatwell. So thank you very much, Matt. He says, top lad, Gio, loving the watch-alongs. Keep up the great work. I'm enjoying them as well. I'm going to do one a week until the end of the season, and then over the summer I'll decide if it's worth it or not. But I've enjoyed the last two so far. It also depends on what division West Ham are in next season. Dark Star saying we should win tomorrow. Both Chelsea and Liverpool got beat. Villa played on Thursday. Massive hammers, hoping that Brentford turn up. Johnny saying, who do you think we are most likely to overtake out of the sides around us? Probably Nottingham Forest, but I've seen... Chris Wood is back. And not only is he back, he played for the under-21s last night and he scored. So Chris Wood is back in training, playing for the under-21s, and he's scored already. We know how this script goes, don't we? Now, Pereira's very keen to not rush him back. Pereira's spoken about taking it slowly, but they've got the massive advantage that there's a 2-week international break and then an FA Cup weekend. So there's 3 weeks till their game after the Spurs game. That's a long time to get someone ready. That's a long, long time. So I think he'll be back after the international break. I think Chris Wood will be playing for Nottingham Forest, so that'll give them a boost. But he wasn't great prior to his injury, so I'm hoping that he's, just behaves himself a little bit. Mark saying, I would be more than happy for a Leeds victory tonight and then Forest to beat Spurs and us to beat Villa. Listen, I'm happy. If we win tomorrow, I'm really happy. Even if, no matter what happens at the Forest game, if we win tomorrow, we're out of the bottom three. Regardless of what happens tonight, regardless of what happens tomorrow. It would be a boost if Leeds don't win tonight. Even a draw, it would be good for West Ham. Just keeps them in it. We put them 4 ahead of us, but we've got that game tomorrow. So, could be interesting. Big game tonight at Elland Road. Ryan saying, really good one for Everton. Chelsea look poor at the moment. Same with Liverpool. I really want Brentford to win, but I reckon it'll be a draw. I've gone for a draw, but... Well, no, I haven't. I've gone for a Leeds win. I said 1-0 Leeds. Keith Andrews has changed his team to accommodate Leeds a little bit, which I can understand. We'll discuss it in a minute. Tony saying, what's the rule of taking pens? I thought you can't stop your run-up. You stopped twice. Jimenez did. I haven't seen it, but yes, you're correct. You're not allowed to stop. You've got to keep moving forward at all times. You're not allowed to pause. There is a way around it, which is just slowing down, where you go and then you just gradually move towards the ball. So technically, you haven't paused. You're just ever so slightly creeping towards it. Lace Part saying Connor hasn't, as far as I know. It's just the general gist of the feeling. To be fair, look, if I was a Leeds fan, I think I'd be quite optimistic for tonight. I'd be looking at the Brentford team. I see it as they've gone, not defensive, but cautious. I think Brentford have gone a bit cautious tonight. So I'd be thinking, do you know what? They fear us. And I think the Leeds team is quite attacking. MJ saying, never thought I'd be fearful of Chris Wood. Mate, it's 2026. I'm worried about Chris Wood and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What the hell is going on? To be fair, a few days ago, I was worried about Awoni playing for Nottingham Forest. I still am. I think he'll play for Forest tomorrow. So here we are, 2026. Danny Welbeck's banging in the goals. I'm worried about Calvert-Lewin, who's somehow stayed injury-free all season. Chris Wood's returning from what was meant to be a season-ending injury, and I'm worried that he's going to rock up and start scoring goals. The Premier League's a funny place. And then you've got Isak's been practically dead all season. You've got Walter Madder, the German number 9, playing in midfield for Newcastle United. What are we living in? What kind of world is this? Jack, as you guys will know him as Jackbait, jacked me because my friend. Jack's very, very kind. Saying, get 2 loads of LED lights. Thanks for the content. Jack, thank you very much, and thank you for the super chat. That's very, very kind of you. I didn't know you made your way over here. You've been here before, but I hope you are good. And I must confess, I've been enjoying Jack's new podcast. He's working with BetMGM on a darts podcast. I listened to my first one earlier when I was painting Grace's room, actually. Jamie saying, how are you? I'm a bit nervous, actually, about this game for the Leeds United. Listen, if Leeds lose, I'll be very happy. But at the minute, so-so. Scott is saying the Villa fans are not very confident at all. No, they are not. In regards to tonight's team, I think Leeds have gone quite attacking for Daniel Farke in the Metro up front alongside Calvert-Lewin, Addison in number 10. I think that's attacking for him. Be interesting to see how Bogle gets on that left side, replacing Goodmanson, who's obviously suspended after that weird red card at Selhurst Park, up against Coyote. I'm a big fan of Coyote. I think he's one of the better right backs in the Premier League. But Brentford going to a back three. The way I see it, they've gone to a back three, putting Pinnock in there. Kane Lewis Potter, left wing back, which would be interesting because I think it's going to put Shada as a striker rather than out wide. So I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I'm a big fan of Shada. So it'd be interesting to see him a bit more central and closer to Thiago rather than out on that left-hand side, if that's what Brentford do tonight. But I think they've just gone a little bit cautious due to Leeds' threat at set pieces. You know, with Beal at the back alongside Struijk and Rodon. Pinnock in there next to Van den Berg as well as Collins. So you've got the height, you've got the physicality. They're matching them up man for man. So that should be a good contest tonight. It should be man for man all across the pitch. Obviously not quite in defence. You'll have 3 defenders against 2 strikers either side. But it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm expecting goals at Elland Road this evening. I know I said 1-0 is my prediction, but now I've seen the teams. Yeah, I think he's done good. Gary said Tartan Geo cartoon image is looking to me like you're sitting on a toilet with toilet paper. It's Ur Willie. It's Ur Willie. I'll tell you where it's come from. Years ago. There was someone, a university student, was doing something to do with his course, and he basically asked permission to do like a cartoon type figure of me. And it was a bit of a strange request because I'm just a gobby Scotsman that chats nonsense on YouTube. But bear in mind, we're going back to like pre-COVID times here as well. Like Hammers Chat had not nearly as many subscribers as we do now. So I said to him, yeah, of course you can. I said, well, would you mind? So I said, would you mind doing it in the style of Ur Willie, but change the bucket for a football and obviously make it me? So put a kilt on him and put him in a Fred Perry polo. So he was a bit like, who's Ur Willie? So I had to send him an image of Ur Willie sat on his bucket with his dungarees on. So that's what that image is. It's me, but it's inspired by Ur Willie, a Scottish cartoon character, in a Fred Perry shirt, wearing a kilt, with some football boots on, sat on a football. There you go. And I quite liked it. So I know everyone's not a big fan of it. Someone actually messaged me not that long ago saying, like, oh, for a small fee I can rebrand Tartan Geo. Now, don't get me wrong, I get why they've done it because it's not professionally done, right? But I was a bit like, I quite like my my wee figure. Even if people don't get it, even if it looks like I'm sat on the bog with some toilet roll, I'm okay with him, with my Ur Willie type person. Ryan saying, do you reckon Nuno would consider Chris Wood if he stayed up and Forest go down? I hope not. Like, fantastic under Nuno, but do you know when things feel a little bit unsustainable? That. Ian saying, a very good evening, everyone watching. Hope you're well and having a great weekend, and I've liked and subscribed. Good luck for your channel. Ian, thank you. What a very kind message that is. That's very, very kind of you. Katie with bees in the live chat, absolutely. If there is any Leeds fans, probably not. You'll be watching One Leeds, or you should be watching One Leeds. I would recommend that you do go over to One Leeds, my friend Connor's Leeds United channel. I've been enjoying creating content over there the last few weeks. It's weird, actually. I used to watch Connor's content, and he used to watch mine, and we didn't know. I didn't know he watched my content, and he didn't know I watched his. So when we played Leeds earlier on in the season, and I asked Connor if he wanted to come on, he was like, yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm such a big fan. I was like, oh, right, okay. I didn't realise. So that's why we said, oh, let's do something. But then I was moving house, and then when I moved in, I said to him, right, I can do it now. So we started doing the relegation rhythm, and I'm enjoying it. It's funny, actually, because I get 2 sets of Leeds fans. I get the Leeds fans that are really nice to me, that enjoy the content. Then I get the Leeds fans that aren't aware of the podcast and they can be a little bit snipey with me. Anyway, Kevin Shanda, who I'm a fan of, has just come up saying he's got 1 goal and no assists in his last 7 games. I'm a fan. I'm sticking with it. I'm still a fan of Shada. Right then, kick-off, and we're underway at Elland Road. Today, it's going to be... It's a watch-along rather than a commentary. I will give some commentary, but I'm just assuming that you all in the live chat are watching the game as well. Anyway, we're underway at Elland Road. Come on, Brentford. This would be big. Thiago's brought it down already, but he's offside. Funny striker, Thiago. I can't quite work out if he's a good striker or not. Clearly a very good goal scorer and a fantastic penalty taker, but in terms of being a striker, I feel like he's at the right level at Brentford. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's capable of stepping up a level and going to what would be a Champions League club or a Europa League club. Maybe could he play for Aston Villa? Maybe. I guess he'd be an upgrade for Everton. I appreciate Beto scored a couple of goals today, but I think he's a better striker than Beto. Ian saying his stepdad played for Darlington in the FA Cup at Upton Park against West Ham. He ended up in hospital by a bad challenge by Frank Lampard Sr., which ended his career. Well, that's really sad. I was really excited reading that at the start, Ian. That was a really nice thing. You know, your stepdad played for Darlington. I was like, wow, this is incredible. But by the end of your comment, I felt pretty terrible, actually. That's a shame. I hope he's not, he's not got too much regret, if you like. It's always difficult when a player finishes his career due to injury on God's terms, nature's terms, if you like, rather than their own ones. Rick enjoyed the weekly predictor a few weeks ago. We're going to do an updated one. We haven't discussed it. I am going to do my own one on this channel because, well, I'm planning on taking a few days off for the first time this year. I've had 2 this year so far. I've had 2 days off separate, but I'm hoping that at the end of next week I can take 3 days off in a row. Brentford coming forward here, and it goes, but it's put behind, and it's a corner kick to Brentford. Yeah, I'm going to try and take Saturday, Sunday, Monday off because Lauren works in a school, and they're off the week after next, which is kind of annoying. It'd been really handy if it was this week coming, but so I'm going to try to take the Monday off, and we're going to take Grace to, I don't know what it's called, Peak Wildlife District, District Wildlife Park. I've been before. It's small. It's not a big one, but there's penguins, and that's my favourite animal. And there's polar bears. You don't see them everywhere. Anyway, Jensen to take the corner for Brentford. Come on, Van der Berg. Where are you? Get your big ginger head on this. He doesn't. He does, but only to hand it down to Jordan Henderson, who puts it back in, but it's been cleared. It's a good start by Brentford. 3 minutes in, it's been all Brentford so far. Leeds struggling to get much of the ball. And an opportunity for Coyote, who is the best long thrower in the league, in my opinion, to launch one into the Leeds area. Here he comes. Rocket Man. Where's Van der Berg? Get your Fanta head on this, son. Well, any of them can. I just like Van der Berg. I think he's really good in the air. And it comes from Coyote. Headed away by a Leeds player. Back in by Jensen. But away by Beal this time. Good start, Brentford. It's only 4 minutes, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. Henderson whips it in from deep. Someone's offside. It's you. It's Watts at head. What are you offside for, mate? Get back on there. That linesman's got one slick haircut, isn't he? Hey? He's showing up with a hairdo. We've got the Aussie ref tonight. Someone did say, what do I think of the referee? I think he's all right, Gillett. He's okay. He's not one of the worst. I would say he's not one of the best. We don't really have one, do we? A best one. I'll tell you what I am fearing, for those that didn't watch the preview show, I'm not keen on Anthony Taylor in charge of the Tyne Wear derby tomorrow. I don't like him. he's either mental or like he dishes out cards like there's no tomorrow, or he just gives none. There's no in between with Anthony Taylor. So tomorrow there's either going to be no cards or there's going to be about 9 cards. And I think it's going to be the latter. I'm not keen on him, Anthony Taylor. Leeds have got the ball for the first time, just over 5 minutes at Elland Road. As Bogle's given it away to Thiago, gives it to Jensen. And he's given it away to Justin, who's on that left side against Coyote. I thought it would have been Bogle, but it's Justin that's over there. Calvert-Lewin now in the England squad. He loses out. That's poor from Jensen. And to a Sunderland fan saying Anthony Taylor hates Sunderland. I'm not joking. Well, there you go. That's who's going to be getting booked or sent off. That's a Sunderland player. Scott saying, do you feel nervous about this game or not too fussed? I'm not as nervous as I thought I'd be, Scott. I expected to have some stronger feelings ahead of this game. Unsure why. Maybe there's an element of like, I believe that it's in our hands, which it is. We win tomorrow. We win every game this season, the remainder of the season. We stay up because Forest play Spurs. So I think there's an element of that, which is like, well, we do our bit. It's all right. I'd much prefer Brentford win, but I don't feel nervous. What about yourself? What about any other people in the live chat that's a West Ham fan or a Nottingham Forest fan or a Spurs fan? I doubt there's any Spurs fans in the live chat. I do have 2 Spurs subscribers that I'm aware of, though. Probably unsubscribed recently. I wouldn't blame them, to be fair. Anyway, another corner kick from Brentford. It was given away quite cheaply by Leeds United. Come on. In it comes from Jensen. Oh, it's bouncing around. Leeds are good at defending set pieces, annoyingly. They were up against a shaky team. And I like this one from Fortunes Down Under. Get your Iron Brew head on it. That's a good one. What other orange food stuff can we use for Van der Berg? We've got another 83 minutes of it. I've already used Fanta and Watsits, and now Down Under's used Iron Brew. Jack is very confident Brentford win, so no nerves. I bet Connor is crapping it. And it comes again. It's flicked on this time, but it's headed away eventually by Leeds. And Anderson picks up and a chance to run at that Brentford defence, but it's really well defended. And that's a strong tackle there by a Yarmulke. Really strong tackle. Scott, a bit like me, maybe I should feel a bit more nervous and, of course, want Brentford to win, but no nerves. I think nerves will creep in, Scott. If Brentford are winning with 10 minutes to go, I think we'll start to feel them. Andrew's less bothered about others now, with the exception of Spurs, who want to lose every week, every season. Brilliant. Connor saying, I've maintained that Leeds will go down, so I'm slightly nervous tonight. Connor has maintained that. Paul's feeling very relaxed about tomorrow's game, but that could be the vodka and Coke. Oh, I mean, listen, Paul, I like a vodka. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm a bit of a snobby twit when it comes to vodka as well. It's a West Ham fan's fault, actually. But not with Coke. Oh. Vodka Coke's just one of those drinks I'll never, ever enjoy. I don't know what it is. I like Coke and I like vodka, but not combined. There's something about it. MJ is bored of the wrestling at corners. I understand that. And Johnny, thank you. Thank you so much, Johnny. Here's a £5, more or less, in the hopes we beat Aston Villa. Well, Johnny, thank you. It's very, very kind of you. I'll put that towards my LED light. Keane Lewis Potter pumps it forward. It's not a bad ball, but it's just a bit too much on it. And that's the advantage. That's the advantage with Brentford playing this system. It's going to put Coyote higher up the pitch. Can you tell I'm a big fan of Coyote? Who's a better right back in the Premier League than Coyote? Let me ask you that, chat. Good play by Bogle here. He goes down. It's never a penalty. It's cleared by Collins, but deflected, and Calvert-Lewin picks it up, gives it to Ampadu. Leeds United with their first attack of the game, really, after 10 minutes. It's been headed away, but only as far as Justin, who's forced backwards. And he goes back to be all on the halfway line. Justin down that left flank. His cross is blocked, and it's a corner kick. Leeds United with their first corner of the game after 10 minutes. Scott had a Fanta Peach. I don't think I've seen a Fanta Peach. I don't drink much soft drinks, to be fair. Katie saying Livramento. I think talent maybe, but not this season. A lot of injuries for Livramento. I don't think he's had that consistency. Kervin Orr saying Reece James. Yeah, listen, I think Reece James is the best right back in the Premier League. I think he's number one. It's headed away. Josh Jensen gets clattered on the edge of the box, and referee blows for a stoppage because it's a head injury. Liam saying Cash has been brilliant. Stevie saying, do you think these watch-alongs could be jinxing us? Well, Stevie, I've done 2, and admittedly they were both Spurs, and they got pumped in one and they drew the other one. So I'm yet to witness a team win I don't want to win, albeit after 2 games. Liam saying Matty Cash has been brilliant. He's okay, but I think I still prefer Coyote. We're basically ranking off the right backs unofficially here, aren't we? We'll do that as we go, will we? We'll do it. Maybe I'll do I'll get my pen and paper out and I'll rank the 20. And you just can fight with me in the live chat. Where else in Timber? I think Timber's been very good this season. There's a little bit of recency bias in the fact that he's dropped off in the last few weeks, but admittedly agreed. Porto, he's good, but I still prefer Coyote. I still prefer him. Right, let's get my Sharpie out. Hopefully it doesn't run out. And Ryan, yep, I'm going to be ranking off live on YouTube. Listen, I'm a slut for views. I'll do anything for views. Right, let's get this party started. I think it's best to write down 20 right backs and we'll rank them. It's cleared away. So we've got Arsenal, we've got Timber, Villa, we've got Cash. Someone's going to have to help me with the alphabet in the live chat. In no particular order. Bournemouth, we've got Jimenez. Ooh, I'm a fan of Jimenez. Brentford, we've got Coyote. Burnley, we've got Walker. Everton, O'Brien, really. Fulham, we've got Tete. HIJKL. Leeds, Bogle, we'll put him. Liverpool, I mean, it's Szoboszlai, really, isn't it? But who are we going to put for Liverpool? Bradley, Frimpong? Who are we putting for Liverpool? We'll go Connor Bradley because he's an actual left back. Chelsea and Palace, yeah, I missed them. Thanks for that, Katie. I told you I'm terrible at the James and Palace. Oh, Munoz, yeah, I forgot him. He's just injured so much. Bogles, it's cleared by Pinnock and it's into the hands of Kelleher. That was a warning. Have we got any more L's? We've just got Leeds and Liverpool now, haven't we? All right, Man City, Nunez, Man U, we've got Dallo, Newcastle, we'll put Livramento. I think Trippier's our main right back at the minute, but we'll go Livramento. O P Q R S Spurs, we'll go Porto. T U V W, right, we've got Wan-Bissaka. And we've also got Chow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, I'm missing a few teams. What teams am I missing? I always do this. when it comes to just naming the 20 Premier League clubs, and I always miss a couple. Well, I don't know how it's possible. Whoever forgot? I'm hoping someone was paying attention without me just listing a load of right backs. Brighton. I've missed Brighton. Thank you for that. Weaver. I've got Tete. I've got Porro. I've got Nunez. Sunderland. Thank you, Nicky. Who we're putting for Sunderland's right back changes every week. We're going to go Hume. I think we'll put Hume in. Bournemouth, I've got Jimenez. Forest. Thank you. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you very much. Right. Let's get listing. I'll do my order. Then you just can fight me. Right. I've got number 1 and number 20 in already. Right. There's definitely a number 20. He's in already. And there's definitely a number 1. He's in. I'll put in number 2. Let me just. I'm gonna almost have to just whack him in 1 to 10 or something, and argue as Thiago comes forward for Brentford on the left hand side. He whips it in. Oh, it's cleared away by Justin. Come on, Brentford. Henderson pops out to Jensen. He brings it down, and it's blocked and it's out for another throw in. Come on, Brentford. Sixteen and a half minutes gone. Brentford have been the better team so far, but Leeds have got into it over the last few minutes. Lewis Potter with the throw. And I'm struggling to pick my 19th right back. 20's dog shit, right? 20 is definitely dog shit. Like, you're not going to change my opinion as to who the 20th right back is in the Premier League. There's quite a few good ones, to be fair. It's quite harder to do this than I anticipated. Let me just throw some players in here, and then we can argue, can't we? Right, I've got my 19. I've got my 18. I don't think people are going to like my number 17. But I'm doing it on this season. I'm doing it on this season as well. Seven. I haven't got 8 in. Right, so let's put him in. I'm struggling in the middle bit now. Anyway, welcome to my dog shit stream, where it's a bit of a watch along, and I'm only half watching the game now because I've decided I'm going to start ranking right backs. And Calvert-Lewin gets his head on that. It's headed away. It's scrappy inside the Brentford area, but they've managed to get it away. But encouraging signs for Leeds United here. It's helpful that they've got Calvert-Lewin and Nemecha up front tonight. All they've got to do is get crosses in. They've got 2 big lads in the middle of the box waiting to attack it. Brentford have accommodated that with their 3 centre-backs, but Leeds will get success just sending the ball in from wide. Saying that, it wasn't a bad cross from Bogle. Took a deflection. Kelleher and Calvert-Lewin both sort of got there at the same time, but they defended it well. Here comes Ampadu, the second best long thrower in the Premier League, in my opinion. So we've got the best 2 long throwers tonight, either side of the pitch. Ampadu sends it in, headed away, and it falls to Justin. It's bouncing around in that box once again. Coyote brings it out. Biol puts it forward towards Addison, and it bounces out, and I can get back to my list of right backs that I know is going to raise some eyebrows and upset some people, but I'm just doing it quickly. Right, I think I've done it. This is just off the cuff, right? You've got to respect this is off the cuff. It's not my final list. It's my first draft, right? I'm going to go for it, though. And we can argue in the live chat. You can argue with me. I'm open to persuasion about many of them. I think my number 17 is going to be an unpopular one. I think people are going to say I'm being harsh on him. But I'm going to own it, right? So when there's a break in play, I'll read out my... fuck it, I'll just read it out now anyway. Right. Join along at home if you want. Number 1, Reece James. Thiago's brought that down really nicely. He's put a very poor ball in, actually, and easily dealt with. I mean, that looked promising. It was such a nice first touch, and then the cross was just to nobody. It's like cooking a meal for yourself and then just putting it in the bin, not eating it. You know, you've done all the hard work. You've done the difficult part. Anyway. I'm maybe not nervous, but I'm almost frustrated with Thiago there. Right, Reece James, number 1. Number 2, Timber. I'm taking everything into consideration. This season and ability. Number 3, I've actually, believe it or not, I've gone with Munoz at Palace. I think he's brilliant. This season's hard. He's been injured a lot, but last season he was incredible. So I'm going to put Munoz in there at number 3. Number 4, Coyote. I like him. Big fan. 5, Jimenez at Bournemouth. Huge fan. Physicality. Stupid penalty he gave away against Man U, but let's forgive him for that. Really strong, quite quick, aggressive in the tackle, really nice with the ball at his feet, gets forward really well. I'm a fan of Jimenez. Number 6. Where are you, son? Livramento. I've gone with Livramento. Maybe a bit kind, but I think he's neat and tidy on the ball, a very good attacking right back, and I think his issue is Trippier's more trusted by Eddie Howe, but also because Lewis Hall is so attacking, if you play Livramento, you've got 2 really attacking fullbacks. Now, for me, I would be a fan of that, but I understand why Howe's maybe a little bit reluctant to do that. Trippier can cross from deep. Livramento's more of a byline player. Right, what we're going? Number 7, Porro. Number 8, Matty Cash. Number 9, Nunez. Not a natural right back, but I think he's been really good recent weeks. I think he's managed to learn the role at Man City. Now, I should just say this. This is an example of a player suiting a team. I don't think Nunez would be a good right back at pretty much any other team in the Premier League. You put Nunez at right back for Burnley, I think he'd get ripped apart. But he's not. He's at Man City. They have more possession. It works, him being right back. But I think he's been good this season at right back. Number 10, maybe kind, but I'm going to go Aina. I think he's not been great recently. Terrific last season. And he started this season okay, and they missed him when he was out, but he's come back, and I don't think he's been great. 11, this is where I'm showing my bias a little bit. I put Bradley in there. Nowhere near the finished article, and he's got a lot to learn. He's very rough around the edges, but there's something about Conor Bradley I like. Like I said, I'm open to changing this. I've not thought about it properly. I've just done it off the cuff. As you can see, I just wrote them all down. I changed one player's position, and that was it. 12, I went Tete. 13, Bogo. 14, Wan-Bissaka. 15, maybe a bit harsh on Wan-Bissaka. 15, I went Hume. 16, Dalot. I'm just not a big fan of him. 17, here's the one that I think might piss people off, is Kyle Walker. I just think he's finished. I don't think he's good anymore. 18, Weaver. Bit harsh because he's not really a right back, but I'm just not keen on him there. I like him in midfield, but I don't like him at right back. 19, I went with O'Brien. Again, a centre back, not a right back. And he's okay at right back, but he's okay defensively, but that's it. I like to see more. And then 20, Chow, or however you say his name at Wolves, he's absolute dog shit. So I put him, he was the first one in. James 1, him 20. the middle, I'm open to changing my mind. Maybe I've been a bit harsh. Some say Matty Cash. Maybe I've been a bit harsh on Matty Cash, perhaps. I'm open to changing my mind on stuff like that. Anyway, back to the game. There's my list. I'm ready to argue. Some of them in particular, I feel stronger. They're a bit in the middle, like Tete, Wan-Bissaka. I'm not that strongly opinionated about who's better than who. Right, 25 minutes in, still 0-0. I think Gary saying Bogle's looking top 8. I think Bogle's good. I think he's had a really good season. Whenever I watched Leeds, I've been very impressed by him. One of those that have stepped up from the Championship to the Premier League and not looked out of place in this division. I like him. Voda saying, I've seen Cash get a lot of hate this season. Dean too. In my opinion, Wan-Bissaka is even the best right back at West Ham. I'm not Wan-Bissaka's biggest fan. He's excellent when he's up against a winger that goes on the outside, but I think he struggles when he's up against a winger that cuts inside. That's how I sum up. Wan-Bissaka. Henderson on the ball for Brentford at the minute. Hammer99 saying, accidentally whacked Henderson shot on target on my bet builder instead of card. How's your luck? Well, you never know. Has he had a shot on target? Thiago just flicking it on towards Shada, who's brought it down. Coyote on the overlap on that right-hand side. Shada uses him. There's numbers in the box for Brentford. The ball does come in first time, but Darlow gets up and gets his hands on it. Ryan's going to the Clyde Best premiere on Thursday. Love that. Enjoy it. I'm looking forward to watching it when it's released to Joe Public. Has anyone seen the Danny Dyer film, One Last Deal? Has anyone seen that? I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. I'm going to tell you what the concept is for anyone unaware. I'm going to tell you what the concept is, and it's going to sound really bad, but I've heard a lot of good things. There's only one person in the film, and that's Danny Dyer, and he's in one room for the entire film. It's an hour and a half of him in a room as a football agent, and he's on the phone. That's it. But I've heard a lot of people saying it's like his best work yet. Again, looking forward to it coming out. I'm not going to the cinema to watch it. I don't have the attention span for the cinema. Last time I was there, I wanted to leave halfway through. I was just fed up. I struggle to watch movies. I could tell you the last time I watched a film from start to finish. Could not tell you. I just get fed up halfway through. I've just got to go do something else. Change it up a little bit. Teddy has seen it. Did you enjoy it, Teddy? Let us know. Ampadu, long throw towards that Brentford box. Flicked on by Biol. It's bouncing around. The Metra brings it down. Up against Shada. And forced backwards. Because most of the live chat are West Ham fans, and it comes for Bogle. Blocked. Would you be happy with 0-0 here? Because I would. I think 0-0 would be a decent result for West Ham. And Spurs are Nottingham Forest. It's a winnable fixture where they only get 1 point. You know, if it finished a draw here, Leeds would have got 2 points from Sunderland at home, Palace away and Brentford at home. That's not enough, in my opinion. So I think a draw would be decent, but fingers crossed Brentford can snatch it. The bench is very light, by the way. Have you seen the Brentford bench? And Purdue whips it in, but his long throw cleared away by Henderson. You have a look at the bottom of the screen. That's the Brentford bench. How many of those names do you recognise? Bent, Donovan, Furo, McManus, Nelson, Utara, Shield, Stevenson. Donovan, Furo, Nelson, Utara. That's the ones I recognise. I couldn't tell you who Bent, McManus, Shield, and Stevenson are. Those 4 players, could not tell you who they are. And I watch a lot of football. Maybe I've watched one of them without realising. But I could not tell you those 4 in particular. So they've not got a strong bench, Brentford. Now, they do have Utara on there, but it's sort of the only one, really. I know Fudo's an attacking player. And Nelson's, let's be real, is dog shit. He's someone that, he came through at Arsenal, went on loan to Fulham, and went to Brentford, and just been absolutely crap. Addison on the ball for Leeds, but it's a terrible pass straight through to Kelleher. You can see what he's trying to do, but he was just... I don't think it was the best idea in the first place, but you're going to do a terrible idea. You've got to make sure you get the execution right, and he was miles off it. Good play here by Brentford. They've worked out to Kane Lewis-Potter. His cross comes in to the back post towards Coyote, heads it down towards Shada, but it's cleared away, and Addison picks it up, but Collins is there. He wins off him, but it goes to Bogle. Addison loses out to Kane Lewis-Potter this time, but Bogle wins it back again. Stop playing. Where did I put you on the list, son? 13th. Guys pissed off with his ranking I've given him. Making a point. Calvert-Lewin loses out this time. 31 minutes gone. Tam saying I'm a Mackham and I want Leeds 5-0 down by half time. Awful fans, terrible club. Crikey. Stronger than me. Dal saying happy would be a strong word, but I'd be okay with it. Yeah, okay is what I would describe it. I think it would be a decent result for West Ham. Not a good one, but a decent one. Lloyd's not confident for Villa or Wolves. I think we will get 1 point, but then think we will get some unexpected points. Yeah, the Wolves game I'm not confident for. Andrew saying away fans look at our bench and say, who? Scott said the thing is, well, none of us, Forest or Leeds are crap anymore. No one gets battered and everyone's well organised. Spurs are the worst out of us all. That's true. That is true. They seem to be a bit more happier Spurs fans. Honestly, I seen one account tweeting a picture of Igor Tudor saying, oh, has he cracked? And someone said, you want him sacked after the Liverpool game. He said, I've changed my mind. What? Because you beat Atletico Madrid with a last-minute winner and still went out in the Champions League. I don't know. I know football can be short-term and fickle, and that's okay, but I don't know about that one. Changing your mind is a wonderful thing, but sometimes I think changing your mind with evidence is a wonderful thing. Don't get it. Mark, we were once in for Nelson, yeah, when he was leaving Arsenal. It was definitely a lucky miss. Liam is a Villa fan. We've been in bad form recently, but they're winning Europe the other night, plus McGinn back. Tielemans on the bench to come on at some point. West Ham ain't winning tomorrow. Sorry, Hammers. That's all right. No need to apologise. Gut saying our best hope is staying up as Spurs draw just enough to keep the PE coach in a job. Paddy's asking what we want for tomorrow. Ideally a draw, or do some people prefer a win? For me, it's a draw, but if one of the teams had to lose, I would prefer Forest lost. Voda saying they outplayed Atletico. Clearly aren't as hopeless as they were. This is going to be a tough battle. Oh, shot there coming in, but Kelleher keeping a hold of it. And he's throwing it out. Mecha there unleashing an effort. Jordan Henderson down. Hammer 99 will be hoping he goes off and Utara comes on to increase his betting potential. One from distance. Good save by Gallagher. Just didn't quite bounce in front of him from the Metcha. Oh, he did. It did, actually. That's a really good save. I think as a keeper, it's difficult when the ball just bounces right in front of you. Because not only have you got to judge the fight of the ball, you've got to try and judge where it's going to bounce and where it's going to bounce to. But he done very well there, Gallagher, to hold on to that one. Gut saying a loss against Forest would have huge pressure from fans to sack Igor Tudor. I've come round to a draw. Jay saying, I think we're better off chasing Forest down with the goal difference being closer to ours. Yeah, that's a very fair, very fair comment to make. Jay saying, draw and a win for us tomorrow. I still think we're going to have to win 4 games out of 8 to give us a realistic chance of staying up. Let me have a look at the league table. We're on 29 points, aren't we? I think 3 wins, but also we're going to need some draws. It's not just 3 wins and that's it. So we've got 8 games. I think 3 wins and 2 draws. And I think that would be more than enough. A point per game all season has been enough to be 17th. Just whether that's the case come the end of the season, I don't know. It feels like it won't be, but we're 30 games in now, and it has been. Daniel, didn't you recently watch I Swear and Wholeheartedly recommend it? Oh yeah. I did watch it in one sitting. I watched it across 2 nights, Daniel. I finished it on Wednesday night, but I started watching it on Monday night? I don't know. I started watching it earlier in the week. I had to watch it in 2 sittings because I got fed up. Mrs. Gio's used to it. She's okay with it. She's used to it now. She gets stressed if, like, one of the episodes of a TV series is around about 45 minutes, between 45 and an hour, because she knows it's testing me. By the end of it, I'm getting a bit pissed off. I'm getting a bit restless. Anyway, Calvert-Lewin on the ball here at the minute. Gives it back to Bogle. Another 1-2 with Rodin. He goes to cross it. Changes his mind. Calvert-Lewin is in the middle now alongside the Metcha. As Leeds try and work an opportunity to cross it, and they do with Ampadu. He doesn't cross it. He gives it to Bogle. Good passing play here down the right-hand side. Anderson cuts it across, but it's away by Collins, and Thiago brings it down, gives it to Shadan. He's been taken out, and it's a free kick to Brentford. And Struck. Never know how you say his name. The problem when I A, watched the game on mute, and B, I'm deaf anyway, so Strike. Wayne Rooney called him Stoke. Maybe we'll just call him Stoke in tribute to Wayne Rooney. Did you see their conversation about Neymar? About which players were better than Neymar? Sadio Mane. Ben's just joined. How's the game been? They're cancelling each other out. I think it's quite an open game. Both teams certainly trying to win the game, but neither team with enough quality yet. Gallagher goes long, headed away by Beal. Henderson plays it to Lewis Potter, who sends it straight back in with Pinnock getting on the end of it, and it's into the hands of Darlow. Not testing the Leeds United goalkeeper there. Katie is watching the capture. I also watch that. That's what I watch on my own when I'm having my lunch. I like it. Coming up to the 40th minute, 39 minutes played at Elland Road. Still Leeds United 0, Brentford 0. Neither keeper being troubled too much yet. A couple of shots on target for each team, but, well, one each that I can recall, but neither testing the goalkeeper really. A lot of long throws and crosses though, but both defences with 3 tall physical centre-backs each are coping fine with the pressure put on them. Addison's done well there to give it to Stack. Pops out to Justin, back to Ampadu. As Leeds work it across to the right-hand side from the left. But Keane lose Potter, forcing Bogle back. Shada forcing Biol all the way back to Darlow. Brentford man-to-man pressing here at the minute, just trying to win the ball back from Leeds United as they're popping around at the back, and they've won a free kick after Nemecha was given a nudge by Tangerine Head. Paddy is enjoying the neutral watch-alongs. Will we be doing them next season or only on games that outcomes affect us? It depends on what division West Ham are in. If we stay up, I'll do them next season, and it won't necessarily be games impacting West Ham. To be fair, as Bogle hits it, but it's blocked. To be fair, I might do one this season that doesn't impact West Ham. I just put the options up for the subscribers to vote, and they voted for this one. Liam Somerville is unavailable for tomorrow, according to Nuno. Sometimes plays tricks, Nuno, but I don't think he's playing a trick on this occasion. I think he's just out, because I think if there was any chance of Somerville being fit for tomorrow, I think he'd be in that Dutch squad, because Koeman, the Netherlands manager, was told by Somerville he's unavailable. If Somerville was even available for 10 minutes tomorrow, I'd imagine he'd be in that Dutch squad. So a bit frustrating, but hopefully we can get something out of the game. Fingers crossed. Brentford, Collins on the ball. Keane Lewis Potter clattered into by Bogle, and he's going to receive a yellow card for that challenge. And I can understand why, to be fair. It was late, and it came right through the back of him. Oh, pardon me. Andrew, if we're in the Championship, does Tartan Duo go Championship? I'm not 100% sure, Andrew. I've not decided. I haven't really considered it that much, more because I don't want to consider it. But I don't know what I'd do with this channel if it went down, because naturally I've got to watch. I only watch about probably at least one Championship game a week, but at the most two. Right? I don't watch loads of it. So I would have to watch more. And therefore I'd watch less Premier League football. So I don't really know what I'd do with this channel. Don't know. So we bloody better just stay up, because I finally take this channel seriously this season, most weeks. And West Ham decided they're going to get relegated and just ruin my channel. Nice one. Anyway, don't let that put you off sticking around. Don't let that put you off subscribing. That was a lovely layup by Nemecha to Justin. 90 seconds of normal time remaining at Elland Road in the first half. Still 0-0. Neither team the better of the two. Collins gets his head on it. Jensen and B.O. go after it. Leeds defender gets there first, and Collins pops out for a throw in. Here he is. We've got a happy Evertonian in live chat. Understandably, you must be absolutely buzzing. Danny, I'm gonna ask this question. Forget European football. Are you gonna get Champions League football? It sounds a bit crazy, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Liverpool stink. Chelsea stink even more. Everton in good nick. 3 points behind them. It's a possibility. And you've got to play them. You've got the Merseyside derby. Champions League football at Everton. It's a possibility. Are you going to be humble? Are you going to do the whole, no. But what are you saying? I want to know, Danny. Let me know your thoughts, please. And a Coyote, jinking past 1 and 2, gives it to Henderson and plays out to Collins. Paddy, being a Scot, what made you become a West Ham fan? My dad. My dad made me. He's a West Ham fan. So growing up, 3 rules: be nice to mum, work hard at school, support West Ham. That was it. I didn't have a choice. And I got bullied. I got bullied at school for supporting West Ham by the Plastic Man U fans. I had my day now and again, though. FA Cup, Di Canio slotting it past Barthez. I had my day. I went around school as if I scored the winner at Old Trafford, mugging them all off. Carlos Tevez. Bang. They didn't really care. They'd won the title, but... Do you remember... I don't know. I'm assuming you guys did this at school. Do you know at school? If... you got your jotter, your workbook, right? And you used to decorate it. You used to put paper over it, didn't you? Well, we did anyway. And I used to have the Barthez with his arm up. I used to have that printed out, and that was the cover of my workbook in quite a few of my classes at school. Anyway, Thiago on the ball for Brentford, and his cross is blocked. But it falls to Coyote. He's going to whip it in. He doesn't. He goes back. Henderson's on the ball. He does cross it towards Keane Lewis Potter, who heads it down. Thiago gets it. I thought he was offside, but Lino says no as Leeds clear it. Calvert-Lewin goes down. Addison races away. Collins all over him. Coyote gets back and puts a tackle in. Good tracking back by the right wing back for Brentford as Kelleher plays it to Jensen. Into Jordan Henderson. Shada looks a looping ball for Thiago, but it's well off and it's played back to Darlow. And that's a poor ball by the Leeds goalkeeper, but Biol knocks it on. We've got another 2 minutes of stoppage time to go at least at Elland Road. Anton Stack coming forward. He gives it out to James Justin. In comes across, blocked by Van der Berg, and he'll get a second attempt here, but he can't do anything with it. And it's a goal kick to Brentford. Good defending by Coyote. MJ, I don't actually know. I've never actually asked my dad why he supports West Ham, but I think the 2 reasons. One, we had McAvenny and Stewart, and I think what the reason is. Back in the 80s, as Thiago wrestles off-road and puts a cross in for Shada, but he makes a connection, but it's a tame one, and it's cleared easily enough. Coyote picks it up, but it's good tracking back by Nemecha. Addison looks to release Calvert-Lewin up against Pinnock, but it's really good defending by the Brentford centre-back. I'm a big Pinnock fan. Big Pinnock fan. In the 80s, West Ham had a pre-season tournament in Aberdeen, and I've been told by West Ham fans who were well known by other West Ham fans that the Aberdeen lot and the West Ham lot got on really well during that period. So alliances were forged a little bit, and I think maybe that's where my dad picked up West Ham from. When he was younger, I don't think he'll mind me saying it. When he was younger, my dad didn't mind a scrap. My dad was, he didn't mind a little tussle when he was younger. And so I think that appealed to him, the West Ham side of things. So that's possibly one of the reasons. But I've never actually asked him. Paddy, my dad was a Leeds fan. He was born in Yorkshire and only became a West Ham fan when he met my mum and took my brothers to Upton Park, and he's been West Ham since. He converted. Well, I'm glad he's seen the light. Dal, do I have a preferred Scottish club? Aberdeen. I was born in Aberdeen. And and I had a season ticket. I had a season ticket at Aberdeen when I was younger, when I was like 10, 11, 12. It was 50 quid. 50 quid it was for my season ticket. And then when my football was then on a Saturday, I could no longer go, so I had to give up the season ticket. But all through childhood, had a season ticket at Aberdeen for 3-4 years, and then, but every year since I was 4, every year I'd go to see West Ham at least twice, more often 3 or 4 times a season. My dad would take us down to see West Ham, so I've seen plenty of games over the years. Harry saying, why would Tartan Geo be scrapped if West Ham drop? It's not West Ham channel. Oh, no, I wouldn't scrap it. I mean, it's just difficult to... what content do I do? Would I stick with Premier League, but I wouldn't be watching as much Premier League, or just switch to Championship, but I wouldn't be watching... I'd probably end up watching, like, some Premier League games and some Championship games, so I don't know, my opinions on the Premier League would be diluted. That's the thing. I don't know what I would do content-wise, but no, this isn't a West Ham channel. Catherine saying, Toffee's move to a great football ground has really worked. Shame we have such a ground not suitable for football. Search saying, should we have kept Moyes? Yeah, I think so. I've said previously, I'll say it again, I regret our decision to move on. I got it wrong. I assumed we would make a good hire post David Moyes, and we did not. And Gary's saying Aberdeen Iron on West Ham Online. That's correct. That's my dad, not me. That's what Gary's saying too. But for anyone else watching, my dad is Aberdeen Iron on West Ham Online. So he's been, even though I'm the one chatting nonsense on YouTube, right? My dad's actually been on the West Ham social media circuit, if you want, longer than I have, as he's been on West Ham Online for quite some time, and used to go to some Sunderland home games. Aberdeen fans, quite a few of them pop down every now and again. There's always groups. That's the good thing about social media to some extent, that you are able to meet up with like-minded people. Like there's an Aberdeen West Ham group that goes to games and stuff. Harry, do you know the squares in Aberdeen? Got the ferry to the Shetland Island. Love the squares. Mad place. I don't think so. I haven't lived there for a while, though. I don't think I have. Been a long time. Danny, why every half ending 0-0? I know. For anyone only listening, it is currently 0-0 on Elland Road, and it is half time. Catherine saying, how about we rank off the goalkeepers? Maybe I'll do that in a different one. Well, in a different video. Can't use up all the positions today. What will people do when we what we're gonna do in the next one? There was a comment from Johnny, but I've lost it. Where'd it go, Johnny? Here he is, Johnny. No, your super chat didn't come through, but you don't have to donate. Just put your comment in without your super chat, and we'll get up on the screen. Paddy saying, "I'm sad to see Moyes go, but I think it was time for it. We definitely needed to make a better appointment though, and we should have had someone lined up before we went." Paul's dad was in the army in Germany in the 70s. Every Saturday we would go on to camp. Kids were locked in the cinema while the adults went out on the piss. Fantastic child minding that is. Zany, I had a guy in Hamersham. No, that's another idiot. Don't pay attention to him. Chat's nonsense. Jack saying Leeds fans are very nervous. I imagine they are. Listen, first half, looking at the stats now, they both have 2 shots on target. Leeds have 6 shots to Brentford's 4. Leeds are lacking cutting edge tonight, and this is quite an attacking team from Farke, isn't it? With his 2 strikers, attacking midfielder and Aronson in there. It's not working. They're going to have to change it soon. Whether they get take off? Do you take off Nemecha and Aronson and put on Nonto and James, or do you take off a centre back? Do you go to 4 at the back? I'd imagine that's maybe what Leeds fans would be wanting to see. I mean, unlike Brentford, they've actually got a good bench tonight. Having a look at it here, boy, now just the defenders on the bench with Gruev and Longstaff and Tanaka, and then they've got James, Nonto, Okafor, and Peru. So they've actually got a lot of attacking options on the bench, Leeds. And if I was a Leeds fan, I'd be inclined to see changes now at half time and really take it to Brentford in the second half, because 0-0 sets them up for a really nervous Sunday. Now, the good thing is, with Spurs playing Nottingham Forest, one of them's dropping points, maybe both of them. But at least one of them's picking up something. Maybe both of them pick up a point. And if you're Leeds and you draw this game, if Forest win, they're equal points with Leeds. Spurs wins, they go above Leeds. So it's not, I can understand why they're getting a little bit nervous. They didn't look good in that first half. They looked okay. Brentford didn't look good. They also looked okay. But you need, as a Leeds fan, you're going to want more than okay, aren't you? You're going to want to see good. You're going to want to see something that says we're staying up. I still think this is another winnable fixture for Leeds, and they ain't looking great at the minute. They're not in good form at the minute. Daniel, what brought me to Stoke? I'm truth be told, I met someone. I'm into music. I'm into my small band's music. So during COVID, I ended up speaking to someone about music, and then basically the minute the UK opened up post-COVID, we started meeting up and whatever. Then after like 6-7 months, we ran out of money. We were meeting up every weekend in Newcastle, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and it was like, right. And she came up to Aberdeen for 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year, and it was like, right, at the end of it, we were like, right, we've used our savings. We can't afford to do this anymore. So one of us had to move. And then Hammer's Chat was it was a part-time job. It was a paid hobby, if you like. It wasn't enough. It was nowhere near enough to be a full-time job, but it was a case of, well, I'll move and try and make Hammer's Chat a job. And yeah, luck would have it. I've managed. Some months are scary, but I've managed to pay my bills every month since moving. So that's why I end up moving to Stoke. That was it. Chris loves some of the recommendations. Who's your top small band? It's still the Lilacs. His is Kingfisher. It's still the Lilacs. I absolutely love them. You're not going to get a different answer out of me. The Lilacs, we've literally named our daughter after a song by the Lilacs. It's such a small band, but they've got a song called Grace. And so when we didn't know we were going to have a boy or a girl. Obviously, we knew we were going to have one of them. We didn't know which gender it was going to be. We kept a surprise. I know it's a bit uncommon these days, but we didn't find out what the gender was going to be. So we had to pick a boy's name and a girl's name. I ain't one of these nonsense people, that need to see what the baby looks like to see if they look like a insert name. I'm not one of them, right? I've never, ever, ever looked at anyone and gone, you look like a insert name. It doesn't exist it does not matter to me. So we chose a boy's name and a girl's name prior to going in to have the baby, and we chose Grace because of the Lilacs song. And it's quite a nice name as well. Don't get me wrong, the Lilacs song was called, I know. I don't want to say a name in case I offend someone. So I'm going to say a name and someone's going to be like, oh, that's my child's name. That's my wife's name. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a name. Give me a female's name that's not so common anymore, eh? There's got to be one, but anyway. So Grace is the one we went with, and yeah, no regrets. I'm glad we called her Grace. She looks like a Grace. There you go. Matilda, Jacqueline, Elian. What the hell is that? Elian? That's even more unusual than my name. Margaret. Margaret's a good one. Beatrice. Oh, I should have went with Beatrice is a good one too. Everyone's just naming random women's names now. Doris. Everyone's just naming women's names. Sally. You don't get many Sallys these days. My other daughter's name was, but it still is what it is, Ella. But her best friend was called Sally. And then when she was 12, she changed her name. Changed her gender. Sally became Evan. Now, listen, I'm going to put my thoughts on changing genders at 12 years old to one side for a minute here, right? But if you do change gender, anyone, you've got a very rare opportunity that you get to pick your name. And I appreciate I can change my name and you can change your name if you really wanted to. But when you change gender, you get to choose what name you're going to be called in your new gender. Evan. Don't know about that one. All the names to pick. I don't know who chose it, the parents or Sally. I assume it was Sally. But anyway, Danny was asked if he would like to keep Jack Grealish, and here's his answer, because I think it's an interesting question. Danny said, I'm hoping he stays. I'm wondering if they might loan him to us again, but we'll have to pay full wages rather than 75%, as I doubt anyone can pay a fee on those wages. I love him. Just unlucky. He started really, really good. He started really, really well. I loved watching him at the start of the season for Everton. Just very unlucky. Very, very unlucky with injuries. I did see the clip of him the other day asking the kid if he can do the worm. Turns out the kid could do the worm, and I'm not going to lie, he executed it brilliantly. The thing with the worm is, right, more people can do it in reverse. Doing the worm backwards is okay. It's not that impressive, is it? Doing the worm forwards, now that's really impressive. That's the challenge. Can you do the worm in a forward position? That's where it becomes impressive. But the kid could certainly do the worm. He was doing the worm backwards. Lewis thought my name was a nickname. Yeah, you're not the first and you won't be the last. I've had it before. Someone commented the other day on the video. It said, been watching you for years and I still don't know what your name is. I was like, mate, in the comments, he said, Gio, I've been watching you for years and I don't actually know your name. I said, you've just literally wrote it out as Gio. That is my actual name. It's because my dad, my granda, my great granda, they're all George. So as first son/grandson, there was an assumption made that I would also be George. And my mother wasn't keen. My mum said no. So she cut it in half. And that was my name. Listen, it could have been worse. It could have been urge. She could have chose the second half of the word, right? So I'm pleased she went with the first half. Not so keen on my name, full stop. But pleased that she didn't go urge. That would have been a worse name. What's your name? Urge. They really have to convince people it's your name. Don't worry, Lewis, you're not alone. A lot of people assume it's just my nickname or it's the first half of my name. A lot of people just assume my name's George or Jeffrey. It is not. It is Gio. And I'm a bit petty about it. If I ever go somewhere, like historically when I used to go to the doctors, if I went to the doctors and say, George Mackey, I would just sit there, but that is not my name. And I appreciate it's a bit petty, but it's not my name. It does not say that on the bit of paper in front of you. Please just read out my name properly, please. Lewis saying, thank God his name was in Dickens. I see what you've done. I see what you've done there. That was good. Anyway, what we're saying at half-time. I'm pretty, as a West Ham fan, I'm pretty pleased. Brentford could be better, and I think they might get better. We've got Tartan on the bench as well. Hopefully he can come on. He will make a difference. Second half is about to get underway at Elland Road. Tell you what, they don't give you much of a build-up to the second half these days, do you? It's like the pundits are chatting away, and suddenly it's like, boom, kickoff. You don't get to see much of them coming out the tunnel anymore. Anyway, Leeds got the second half underway. But first half, both teams were okay. Quite a scrappy game. Neither team better than the other. I'm hoping Brentford can step up a gear and go get the win. But Leeds will obviously be hoping they can do that as well. An important 45 minutes in the relegation battle and in the European race ahead. As Calvert-Lewin lays off Bogle, his cross into James Justin, who lays off Stack. Deflection and blocked, and Coyote clears it. Big 45 coming up. Scott asked earlier on, are you nervous? And I said, no. I feel like I've got a twinge of nerves now. It's the second half. I think it's a case of, right, okay. And I think it's also because I've seen the first half and not really been too bothered by Leeds. And Thiago with a lovely header down to Jensen. He's just a really bad touch. It bobbled off his knee and he had to then chase it. And he just smashed into the side netting. I think he'd been better off trying to just get it back towards the penalty spot and hope that Shadow or Coyote can get there. A bit selfish in the end there by Jensen, to be honest with you. Don't know why. Looking at the other angles, I don't know why he's shooting here. Don't know why he decided to take that shot on. Ben can't believe Thiago's 24. I know, he doesn't look it, does he? Looks a lot older. As Jensen hooks it forward. Missing Damsgaard tonight, Brentford. Missing Damsgaard. I think him and Jensen's role would lift this Brentford team. And I'm a Jensen fan, but I'm a bigger Damsgaard fan. Wait, drink this. Still got the lid on. Thiago lays off to Lewis Potter. Shadow goes down off the ball and he appears to be injured. He's certainly rolling around. The referee didn't react. And Colin's asking a question like, where's the free kick? And I think it might have been Stoke, for Wayne Rooney reference. It might have been Stoke that trod on him, and it is him who's booked already. It was him that clattered into the back of him. So he's going to have to be careful. But the referee wasn't having it. Play continued. Shadow's on his feet now. Right, play will resume. Coyote over on the left side to Brentford to take this long throw. Come on. Come on. And it comes. Pinnock gets up, but it's headed by a Leeds player and it goes out for a goal kick. Tell you what, these long throws, right, they don't half kill the game. I'm not even convinced they're that effective. There was an article the other day about the lack of goals from them. The amount of long throws teams have taken and how little goals they actually yield. But it's the time that adds on that frustrates me. It just takes ages especially when it's Brentford on the left-hand side, because Coyote's got to travel across the pitch. And then he's drying the ball, and then your centre-backs go up, and it's the same amount of time to take a long throw as it is to take a corner, and it's just a bit tedious. I just find it boring. Do you know one of the best rules that the Premier League have introduced in recent times, in my opinion? Let me know in the live chat if you agree or disagree. The 8-second rule for goalkeepers. Now, occasionally it goes to 9 or whatever, but I feel like it has forced the goalkeepers to release the ball quicker, and a lot of the time they're releasing it when they don't really want to. That if they're defending a corner, for example, and they get it, and as long as no opposition player intrudes, the 8 seconds start, and quite often they've just got to kick it down the pitch, and there's no one really to kick it to. So I do feel like it gets the ball back into play a lot better now. I really like that 8 second rule. I'm wondering if we're going to have to apply something for long throws. Like once the ball goes out, you've got 15 seconds to take it, and then it goes the other way or something. Because we can't have right backs travelling over to the left hand side to take it. I throw in my opinion, it's too long. Stack on the ball for Leeds at the minute, and gives it to Stoke. Out to James Justin, back to Stack into Addison. He may have a shot, he does, and it's dragged well wide. John, what are you going to say to Mrs. Gio? You are watching a lot of football lately. She's probably watching Danny Dyer. We watch all this football. I watched the game anyway. I'm just watching it with you guys, that's all. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be downstairs watching this. I would be watching the game anyway. So I'm not actually watching any more football than usual. If anything, it might actually be beneficial to her because she can then watch what she wants in the TVs. Coyote skips past Justin, but his cross is blocked. Thiago and Stack clatter into each other. Coyote with a little bit of skill gives it to Yarmulke, who's cutting in, tries to find Jensen, blocked by Leeds. Nemecha forced backwards by Brentford and goes all the way back to Darlow. Christian saying, agree in principle, but it's open to abuse depending on the team because it's at the referee's discretion. I think by and large, holding on to the keeper with the ball in his hands, I think has been quite fairly applied. I haven't seen too much for abuse or inconsistencies yet. I did see someone put up a Raya with the ball in his hands a couple of weeks ago, and they said, "Oh, look at it! It was like 12 seconds." But the problem is it's very clear in the law that it's when the goalkeeper has full control of the ball, and he's not being when there's not an offensive player, an opposition player. Sort of, I don't know what the terminology would be, annoying him. But in that clip that I seen, the striker was there in his way. The 8 seconds doesn't start then. The 8 seconds only starts when the goalkeeper has it, full control, but no one is intruding him. But when players do that, he doesn't start at 8 seconds. Otherwise, players would just hold on to the goalkeeper for 8 seconds, wouldn't they? Or they were just standing in his way for 8 seconds. So the 8 seconds doesn't actually start until everyone's out his bloody way, which I think is fair. Henderson with the ball, top for Shada, looked offside, but goes through to Darlow. Anyway, Pete saying, I agree, plus sub players being made to exit the field closest and walk around. That's definitely inconsistent. Andy saying the keepers, when they run up to the edge of the box and throw it out, you know he's out the area. Yeah, that was right. That was one thing Raya did do the other day. That Atletico Madrid game, weren't it? He was out his box when he released that. I've never understood why they do it, keepers. Why they risk coming out their box, whether it's to throw it or to kick it. What, like you're gaining, what, half a yard? I'm sure it's not going to make that much difference. Anyway, 54 minutes on the clock. Leeds United, speaking of long throws, they've got one coming up here. Ampadu will launch it from the right-hand side. And it comes towards Biol. It's headed up in the air, away by Pinnock on this occasion. Thiago flicks away to Justin, but it's blocked by Henderson, and Kelleher does really well to keep that in and prevent a corner for Leeds United. He's going to have to hurry and release it, but his defence isn't under pressure, so he gives it to Collins, who does a 1-2 with Henderson before giving it to Yarmulke just outside the Brentford box. Out to Coyote. He's lost out. Nemecha gives it to Ampadu. Straight down the middle into the hands of Kelleher. Another shot on target. Another save. But one you would expect your goalkeeper to make. Katie, thank you very much for Mrs. Gio's chocolate or treat fund. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate the support. Lewis saying, anyone remember a Colombian goalkeeper did a scorpion kick? Madness. Yeah. Imagine trying that in the Premier League these days. Do you remember? I'll tell you the keeper I remember. Of course, Corsat has got his name. Higuaita. I remember his hair. The keeper that I remember is... am I going to get this right? I say I remember him, and I'm struggling to remember his name. It's coming to me. I might get this slightly wrong. Forgive me. Louis Chauver. Do you remember him? He used to take the pens and often would take a free kick, like outside the box. He used to come all the way up. From 20, 25 yards out, he would come up and take the free kick. But he used to take the pens. I think he had a good penalty conversion rate as well. Was that his name? Was it Louis Chauver? I'm going to have to Google it now. It's one of those things that's going to bug me if I don't know. Louis, I mean, how the hell do you spell Chauver? Let's have a guess. Yeah, Jose Louis Chauver. I recognise him straight away. Let's have a look at his statistics. Let's see how much he actually banged in. Jose Louis Chauver. Let's have a look. All season stats. Problem is, it's going to tell me his clean sheets. I don't want that. I want his goals scored. Here we go. He played 258 games and he scored 19 goals. Outstanding. What a keeper. His best goal scoring season was in 2000. This can't be right. This is incredible. In 2000, for... I don't know who... I'll click on the club in a minute. He played 12 games and scored 5 goals as the keeper. 5 goals in 12 games. That's better than Premier League strikers. He played for Torneo. No, that was the competition. Apologies. He played for Velez Sarsfield. And he scored a hat-trick. What the fuck? He actually scored a hat-trick. Hang on a minute. I know there's a game going on. I need to have a look at this. So on the 28th of November, 1999, Velez Sarsfield won 6-1. And he scored a hat-trick. Penalty. It's three pens. But he scored a hat-trick. Brilliant. There you go. Louis Chauver. There you go. Lewis knew it. Lewis knew he scored a hat-trick. I didn't remember. I remember his free kick. I remember seeing one of the free kicks he scored. Louis Chauver. What a keeper. Right, what we got here? Nemecha doing a quick 1-2 with Justin down at left-hand side. He's done really well to keep it in, and his second touch is absolutely dreadful, and it's pung out. I'm convinced I've seen him score a free kick. I can picture it. He wore leggings. Did he wear leggings? What keeper am I picturing then? Did he wear leggings or long trousers? He wore trousers. He didn't wear shorts, right? I could picture him. I'm sure he scored a free kick. Maybe not. Obviously not. Yeah, we'll do the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper one in the next watch along. Mark, we'll do the goalkeeper. As Stack comes down this left-hand side for Leeds, he cuts it across, cut out by Collins, who gives it to Henderson. He does really well, get there before Justin, but Ampadu intercepts it. Good run by Ampadu, he cuts it back. Jensen gets there first, and it's cleared by Henderson. Thiago battling away with Stoke on the halfway line. The Brentford striker's done well, looks to release Shada, but Biol will get there first, just. And he goes back to Darlow, but Shada's possibly committed a foul, but the referee says nope. And Darlow's clearance goes out for throwing. We're on the hour mark because we're coming up to substitution territory now. Gary thought Chalvert scored in the World Cup. I can picture him scoring a free kick. I'm convinced I can. I'm going to have to Google this now. I can't do this. Chalvert, goalkeeper, scores free kick. Let's have a look. I'm not trusting AI. AI is claiming. Wikipedia, that'll do. Coyote and was cleared away. Yeah, it's saying on Wikipedia he scored a free kick from behind the halfway line against River Plate. I remember him scoring outside the box though. And I'll tell you what, fair play to here he is. I've got a picture of him scoring the free kick here. He's right. Gary, you're right. He scored against Slovenia. Oh no, wait, it didn't say he scored it. He took it. He took a free kick. Didn't say he scored it though. Oh, I don't know. Hang on a minute. It says here, did you know Chalvert was the highest goal-scoring goalkeeper of all time until 2006, when he was surpassed by Sao Paulo legend Rogério Ceni. Let me copy and paste his name. So apparently this geezer's now the top goal-scoring goalkeeper. It's no longer Louis Chalvert. He's been robbed. Let me put in the live chat. There you go. That's his name. That keeper is apparently now the top goal-scoring goalkeeper ever. 131 goals? What the blinking hell is this guy on? He's a free kick and penalty taker at Sao Paulo, and he's played 17 times for Brazil. "25 years at Sao Paulo. He looks very old. He's 53 now. Scored over 100 goals. I'll get back to the game in a second. I'm now fascinated. This is what happens. I end up down rabbit holes in football. I've done this before. I do this too many times. I just start clicking shit, and I start thinking of shit, and then I need to go look up shit. And before you know it, I'm clicking more shit, and that leads to more thoughts. I can spend hours just looking up random football stuff. It's probably bad, but this guy last scored a goal in 2015. He's playing very recently. He scored 3 goals in 2015. His best goal-scoring season was in 2005, where he bagged 10. I mean, it's very recent. How have I not known about this guy? You lot probably do. Anyway. Freedom saying it's about time our keeper started making more of a goal. I quite agree. This geezer's banged in over 100 goals. He scored more goals than some strikers. Now we're going to have to start looking up Premier League strikers who haven't scored 100 goals in their career. There's definitely a few, isn't there? Like big names. There's got to be some big names. I mean, proper career, not including League One and League Two if they made their way down. Who's the highest goal scorer in Premier League goalkeeper? I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to guess Alisson. My guess is Alisson. There you go. Anyone watching live will have seen I've clicked on that and answered immediately. My guess is Alisson for Liverpool. David James obviously scored. Paul Robinson scored. But I think Alisson has got more than one. So that would be my guess. Someone Google it and tell me if I'm right. Because A, I think I'm right. And B, I'm going to be pretty chuffed with myself if I am right. Leeds with the ball on the right-hand side, and it comes from Rodon towards Nemecha. It's a collision in the box, and it's somehow cleared, and Van der Beek is able to just play it out from the back. 65 minutes gone here. Elland Road is still Leeds 0, Brentford 0. Come on, Brentford, for God's sake. Leeds want a pen. Not happening. You're not getting a pen for that. Get it away. Whereas Potter does get it away. Biol gets his head on it. Ampadu beaten to it by Henderson. Thiago. He's had a good game, Thiago. Some nice touches. Henderson looks for Shada. He might be offside, but he just can't quite get there anyway. Come on. I want to see Utana coming on, to be honest with you. Long ball forward towards Nemecha, goes down way too easily. The referee ain't having it. Play continues. Jensen, the game's opening up a little bit. There's a bit of space now. Yarmola with a good run. Jensen ignores him. Gives him to him now, but he pokes it through for Shada, and he looked offside again, but Darlow came out and smothered it well. He's playing on the shoulder, Shada. He's trying to get in behind that Leeds defence, and there's a little bit of room, but they're not able to get that ball through to him. And he does look like he's offside on a few occasions. So whether he actually is and the referee's just playing advantage, which is a wise decision, or he's actually holding his line really well, but I struggle to believe it because he's looked comfortably offside. Bogle down that right-hand side for Leeds once more. Gives it to Ampadu. Thiago tackles Ampadu. He comes forward. Shada's ahead of him, and it's only Shada, and it's terrible control by Thiago. He's just overhits it way too much, and Mr. Stoke has come along and cleared it off him. Are they checking this handball? There is no way. It doesn't even hit him on the hand. It hits him on the ribs. It doesn't even hit him on the arm. This is honestly, this stuff is what is infuriating. Anyway, subs for Leeds. They're going first. Addinson off. And Tanaka is coming on for Leeds United. And Nemecha is going off. And we've got Okafor coming on for Leeds United. Like for like subs, really. I like Tanaka. Good little player. I liked him in the Championship. One of the better midfielders in the Championship. Kelleher is currently down. Having a word with Collins. Hopefully he's okay. I'm trying to get the Generation football game up so we can have a little bash of it, but I can't remember how to get up on the screen. I'm going to give up. Come on, Gio. You know how to do this. Where's the world? The globe. I can't remember how I did this. I've done it before, but I can't remember how I'd done it. Oh, ignore what's on the screen. I made a mess of this. I'll leave it. I'm going to fix it for the next game. I like doing the generation football with you. We've done it before. It was fun. Anyway, stoppage in play is over now. Keller's back on his feet, throwing for Leeds United, which Rodin's going to take instead of Ampadu. But it's not really in the box, it's just down the line. Calvert-Lewin heads on, it's away by Pinnock, which was unnecessary. He had absolutely no one behind him. And Bogle puts out for a goal kick to Brentford. 20 minutes to go at Elland Road. Leeds United 0, Brentford 0. A frustrating result so far for both teams. I don't think either team would be happy with this. If Brentford want European football, they're going to have to win quite a few games. And if Leeds United want to stay in the Premier League, they're going to have to win a couple more games at least. It's not the worst result, obviously. You're not getting beat, but I'm not sure either manager would be happy with a draw here. Farker's made a couple of changes. Andrew's yet to make any, but you'd imagine we'll see Utara very soon. It'll just be interesting to who he takes off. I'd imagine he'll take Shada off, but it will be interesting. Anderson puts it over the top for Thiago, but he was facing the wrong way, and it goes through to Darlow. It was overhit anyway. Biol just slowly taken out of the box. There's not been any big chances for either side really tonight. Anson's just joins in who's been the better team, and truth is, no one really. I think it's been quite even. Personally, that's what I think. I don't think either team's been great. It's been quite a scrappy game, really. Nothing's really happened. Neither keepers had to make a top save. Not really been any big missed chances. You know, there's 4 strikers on the pitch. Both teams are playing with 2 strikers, and neither of them have had an opportunity. It's just been well defended. Both teams' centre-backs, both teams have got 3 big centre-backs on, and they're all having a good game. Strike, Biol, Rodon playing fine. Then at the end of the pitch, Van den Berg, Pinnock and Collins, they've been playing fine. They've been winning. The defenders have been winning their duels tonight. And in the middle of the pitch with Ampadu, Stack, Aronson, Henderson, Jensen, Yarmulke has been quite scrappy, really. I'm a fan of this type of humour. Daniel said Leeds need a centre-back called Endall for a be-all and end-all partnership. That's good. I like that one. 9 out of 10, Daniel. Well played. Stack whips in the cross, blocked by Kane Lewis Potter, and that's a corner kick. I've discovered tonight, I didn't know this, but for me, Kane Lewis Potter is one of those players where I just say their first name. I don't just say their surname. I go full on name, Kane Lewis Potter. Naturally, I don't really say Lewis Potter. Kane Lewis Potter. And it comes from Stack. Headed away by Van den Berg, as only as far as Tanaka, who gives it back out to Anton Stack on that right-hand side. He cuts it back to his left, lays off Tanaka, gives it to Justin on the edge of the box. Tanaka goes for goal, deflected, and it's a corner kick to Leeds United. One of them that could have went anywhere, but went wide of the post. Another corner to Leeds United. Just 15 minutes of normal time to go at Elland Road. Katie said it's the same as Kyle Walker-Peters. Declan Rice, Reece James. That's my top 2. Dan James, maybe. Would I say James? Maybe Dan James. And it comes from Stack. It's flicked on by Strike, and it's taking a deflection off a Brentford head. And it's another corner kick to Leeds United on the opposite side. Oh, apologies, everyone. I am terribly sorry. Consequences of having a youngster that likes to get up early. It did come off Pinnock's head. The referee's made the right call here to give another corner kick. And it comes headed away by Thiago. Tanaka brings it down. Sends in a cross. It's flicked on, it's Strike, but it's cleared by Shada. And it comes to Justin, who tries to play it down to Biol. Gets all wrong. It's a goal kick to Brentford. But that was looking like a promising opportunity there for Leeds United. Tanaka put a cross in and Biol just flicked it on. He didn't really know who towards or where it was going, but there was only really Strike left in the box. Everybody had also sort of retreated for Leeds United, and it was cleared easily enough by Shada. The stoppage here. Here we go. Utara is coming on for Brentford. And he is going to replace Shada. So like for like substitution, Utara will just go up alongside Thiago. A different player though, a quicker player perhaps. Had a good season, Utara. They paid big money for him, and I have to be honest with you, I thought it was a bit too much money that they paid, but he's repaid them already. Got a few goals this season, won him a few points. Let's have a look and see how he's got on. I'm guessing 7 goals, maybe, something like that. Premier League, Leeds, Brentford, Utara, career. Oh, 5 goals. He's not scored as much as I thought. I felt like he's had an okay time so far. 3 assists. So 8 goals and assists in 24 appearances. 1 in 3. It's not a bad return. But not what he's worth, I don't think. Like, I still think they overpaid for him. Like, come on, Utara. Be a hero, son. Coyote with a long throw for Brentford on this right-hand side. He doesn't take it, though. He goes backwards to Yarmulke. The thing when you do that is you put the guy with the ball under pressure. Yeah, he's had to go all the way back to Kelleher. It ends up being stupid. This is the thing. If you're going to bring everyone up for a long throw, you've sort of got to do it. Because the minute you go short, the person on the ball has got very few options because everyone's in a bloody box. Anyway, they've gone long eventually, Brentford. And it comes from Kane Lewis Potter. Thiago quite can't bring it under control and goes out for a goal kick. 78 minutes gone at Elland Road. 12 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever stoppage time the referee gives us. Leeds United 0, Brentford 0. I have to say, Leeds substitutions haven't really made a difference. Barely seen Okafor since he's come on. Seen Tanaka plenty, but only because he's getting on the end of loose balls when corners are cleared. That's all. Utara's just taken to the field, so we'll see if he makes a big difference as Yarmulke just pops up towards him and Thiago, headed away by Biol. I feel like Brentford are playing the numbers game a little bit tonight. They just keep trying to get it over the top, and it's not worked yet. Collins switches play towards Coyote, but it goes through to Darlow. And they go back to Kelleher. Ryan saying, can we have the scoreboard for the Tartan game up alongside our one? No. I know some channels, they have where the league table is, they have the scoreboard, but I don't have that option. Might have to request it. So how do I get there? What's hot topic? What on earth is that? Let's turn it on. What's Hot Topic? I've never seen this option before. I don't know what it is. Oh, wait, hang on. Hot. Let's just do a test. Hello. This is our test. Submit. What happens? Nothing by the looks of it. Nothing's changed. Maybe I have to turn table off. No. Where does Hot Topic go? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to turn it back off just in case I damage it. I'll turn Hot Topic off. I don't know. I can only choose one fixture, Ryan, which is obviously going to be the West Ham one. So I can't pick. I don't know. Anyway, I'll ask if we can change that to the scores, but I'll keep you up to date. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It goes back to Kelleher. He clears it. And Utana's beaten in the air, but it goes all the way back to Kelleher. Come on, Brentford. 8.5 minutes of normal time to go at Elland Road here. Leeds 0, Brentford 0. A score that's not a bad one for either team, but also not a good one. Missed opportunity for both should it finish 0-0, as Thiago clatters into Stoke, who hits the deck. Dan James is getting ready to come on for Leeds United. You'd imagine they're going to take a centre-back off and go for this. If I was a Leeds fan, that's what I'd be itching to see. It might be Stoke himself that's going off. And no, am I happy with a point? I think so. I'm seeing it as 2 points drop for Leeds. I think it's a winnable game that they're only getting a point from. What about the chat? Are you happy with a point each? Should it finish 0-0? I think I am. And that is a strike going off and Dan James coming on. So a change information for Leeds United. They're going to go to 4 at the back. James is going to go out on that right wing position, you'd imagine. So a little reshuffle. Maybe Okafor coming out to the left. Tanaka in the number 10. And then Justin left back. Bogle right back. Rodon and Biol as centre backs. And in truth, yeah, of course I'll be doing the Villa game. It'll be on Hamish Chat, but yeah, I wouldn't miss it. That's my job. This isn't my job. This channel's not my job. This channel's my hobby. I'm trying to fund. I guess it is my job to some extent, but I'm headed down to Ampadu. Looked like a handball. It's bouncing around there. It's cleared by Coyote, and the referee gives the handball in the end. Tony, I'm feeling okay about the game tomorrow. I'm optimistic. I feel Somerville's a big miss, though. I was looking forward to it with the assumption Somerville was back, but he's not, so therefore the game got more difficult the minute Somerville got ruled out. 6 minutes to go here, and it's a poor ball by Kelleher. Dan James gets his head on it, but Pinnock clears out, but Lewis Potter keeps it in. He just puts it over the top again. Brentford keep trying this. They've been trying this pass all night, Brentford, and it's not worked yet. They keep just putting it over the top of Leeds' defence. But half the time, when they're doing it, the Brentford player, whether it's Thiago or Shada, they're not even like on the shoulder of the Leeds defender. They're like a yard behind. It's not a tactic that's worked well tonight for Brentford. Dan James running at Lewis Potter. Cross is blocked. Goes to Bogle. Jensen closes him down. Be interesting to see if Keith Andrew changes his shape in response to Leeds changing theirs, will he take this opportunity to take a defender off, go for it at the back? Probably not. I'd be surprised if he did. You could, in theory, you could put one of them left back and move Lewis Potter to more of a left wing role and pull Utara out on that right wing and go a bit more 4-3-3, but I'm not so sure. Daniel Farke complaining at the time is taking Kelleher with a goal kick, which would suggest Brentford are happy with a point. Understandably so. They've seen Chelsea lose. They've seen Liverpool lose. And while it feels a bit mad suggesting that's good results for Brentford, but it is. So I think you could make an argument. That point here is actually a good one for Brentford, looking at the league table. Let's have a quick squiz at it. It's on the screen now. It's just going to rotate in any second. There you go. Brentford, 3 points behind Liverpool with this point. 2 points behind Chelsea. So you can see why Brentford are content with a draw. 7th in the league, 2 points behind Chelsea, 3 points behind Liverpool with 7 games to go. They'll take that all day, every day. Brentford are in the race for Champions League football. They're 3 points behind Liverpool if they get a draw here. You could say, well, the incentive is you've got to go try and win this in the last 5 minutes, because if you do, you're only 1 point behind Liverpool. Anyway, Calvert-Lewin sort of ran into Anton Stack's shoulder. He's up on his feet, though. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go at Elland Road. I'm just going to give you commentary from now until the full-time whistle. Harry saying Brentford blew it against Forest, but 0-0 is better than Leeds winning it. Still time for the Bees to nick it? Absolutely. Cleared away. Tanaka knocks it down to Bogle. But he's forced all the way back to... I say forced, I don't think he was forced, but he's gone back to Darlow. He goes long towards Dan James. Bit of a mismatch against Collins, who wins it. Henderson brings it down. But Stack nicks it off Yarmulke. Out to Okafor on this left-hand side. Ampadu wants it, gets it, lays it to Tanaka. He might shoot, he doesn't. He gives it out to Dan James. Leeds have got bodies in the middle here. It's Dan James. Cuts it back, and it's a poor cut back. And Jensen gets in there. He goes to ground, but the referee says no as James wins it back for Leeds. His cross is deflected by Lewis Potter, and Kelleher punches it away. Feel like the keeper could maybe have caught that one, but he's punched in. It's a throw into Leeds United on their left-hand side. 2 minutes of normal time to go at Elland Road. Leeds are certainly the team that's pushing. Brentford have barely strung any passes together outside their half for quite some time now. They've not really possessed any threat in the second half at all. Ampadu sends in the throw. Hit a Leeds player and has come down towards Justin. He's had to go back to Bogle, who's getting closed down with Jordan Henderson. Coyote heads it away. Henderson tries to flick it away, but falls to Anton Stack. Nice feet from him. Gives it to Justin. Tanaka in a little bit of space again on the edge of the Brentford box. Out to James Justin to Okafor as Leeds are trying to work the cross. Okafor goes for goal. Into the hands of Kelleher. He went for that front post. Tried to catch the keeper out. But no joy. Comfortably saved by Kelleher. A minute of normal time to go now. Rodon beats Thiago in the air. Henderson heads it down to Collins. He just plays it forward. It's a poor ball, though. Brentford have been really sloppy the last 15 minutes. Dan James just running forward here. His cross is deflected. Coyote blocks it, and Collins picks it up. And he just clears it anywhere. And it's 2 Brentford players on the halfway line, and he manages to put it straight to the Leeds player with no Brentford player on him. Coyote asking for options. Utara, who we've barely seen since he's come on. He's a fast, fresh player's come off the bench for Brentford. We've barely seen him. Dan James whips the cross in. Collins clears it to Lewis Potter. Utara's on the move. Lewis Potter, it's a silly foul for Lewis Potter to give away, just clapping into the back of Dan James there. He cleared it, it hit someone in the back, I looked back towards him, and he's just ran into the back of Dan James, committing a foul just on the edge of the box, right on the corner of it. Now, 9 out of 10 players would cross this, but with Anton Stack and his goal against Aston Villa, you wouldn't be surprised if he took a pop. But the only advantage, or the only thing that's making it more likely, is that it's over on the right-hand side. And to be fair, I think Stack might be walking away from this one, as Lewis Potter was receiving treatment from Jordan Henderson for cramp. Stack's going to go back and take it. You'd imagine he's going to cross it, but Kelleher's just got to be a little bit cautious. We remember that free kick against Aston Villa. An outstanding strike from Stack. And it's just on the opposite side of the box, so it would be difficult on his right foot. A chance for Leeds to put a good cross in here. It's maybe a bit too close to those in the box, but we'll see. And it comes from Anton Stack. It's deep, and Thiago defends the back post really well there. Joe Rodon was coming in at the back post, and Thiago was the last Brentford player, but he did his job and he put it behind for a corner kick. Great defending by the Brentford striker. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage. We're already 1 minute into it. We might end up going to the 96 because of that stoppage by Lewis Potter there. Stack will take the corner kick, and it comes from their left, and it's headed away. And it's headed further away by Thiago. Henderson brings it down. Thiago's on the move. He gets it from Henderson. He just holds it up, Thiago. There's so little options. Goes back to Jensen, who just... It's a bad ball. There's 5-6 Brentford players to aim for, and he's managed to pick out Dan James, who's given it to Bogle. Brentford have been poor. And Henderson cuts out Bogle's run, gives it to Otara. 1-2 down that left-hand side, but Rodon comes over, and it's not a great ball by him. Lewis Potter picks it up, but Bogle tackles him. Leeds on the attack again. Dan James up against Collins. His cross is blocked. Lewis Potter picks it up, and he just tries to play it off Ampadu, and he does, but it hits him again and goes out for a throw into Leeds United. So Ampadu has gone out there to take the long throw once more. 92 minutes and 15 seconds gone. Probably another 3 and a bit minutes to go here. Ampadu to take the long throw for Leeds. Brentford have defended these really well all evening. Time running out for the home side. Ampadu with the long throw is flicked on. It falls to Stack, but his shot's blocked by Collins. And Bogle forced go all the way back to Darlow, who just thumps it down the middle of the pitch towards Ampadu. He gets his head on it, cleared by Collins. Ampadu picks it back up. Dan James out on that right touchline, receives it, cuts inside. He crosses it with his left foot. It's a lovely header. Beale with a lovely header, but it's just wide. That was an opportunity for Leeds United. It was a decent ball in by Dan James with his left foot, and it's one of them that's curling towards the goal. So all you got to do as an attacker is just try and guide it towards goal. And just looking at the replay, and it's not actually the Leeds player that heads it. It's fantastic defending by Pinnock. He gets up above Beale and heads out for a corner, which has come in already. It's been cleared out. Dan James picks it up onto his left foot. He chips it back in. Headed away by Otara. Henderson heads it further away. Otara will chase it, forcing Stack backwards. Thiago's chasing this down, forcing Bogle to go back to his goalkeeper. Just over a minute of stoppage time to go here. At least. Darlow with a poor ball. His kicking's been terrible tonight. Out towards Dan James on the touchline, and it's gone out for a throw into Brentford, and they'll use this time just to calm things down a little bit. Leeds have had a lot of pressure on Brentford for the last 10-15 minutes. It's gone out for a throw in though, and you'd imagine Lewis Potter's going to take his time with this one, as we're 94 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Lewis Potter with a throw down the left touchline. Otara battling away, hooked forward by Rodon. Calvert-Lewin, who we've barely seen, chested down to Stack. It's a bad ball by him. It's Otara. Chance for Brentford here. It's Otara. And he gets brought down. It's a free kick to Brentford right on the edge of the box here. Ampadu bringing him down. So 30 seconds at least 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. And Brentford have got a free kick. 22 yards out here. Quite central as well. This, you'd imagine this is going to be the last chance of the game. And it's a shooting opportunity for Brentford. A dangerous position to be conceding a free kick. But it was 2-on-2 there. Ampadu was struggling to get back. Jensen is still on the pitch. I'd imagine it's going to be Jensen that hits it. Lewis Potter can hit a free kick. Maybe Lewis Potter will fancy this one. He scored not long ago, didn't he? Utada's over it. Lewis Potter, Henderson, Jensen. I always say I've never seen a player shoot from a direct free kick that hasn't put the ball down. So I can't see who's put it down though, because the commentators show me, the cameraman showed me Tanaka lying down behind the wall. My money would be on Lewis Potter, but whoever's put it down will hit it. Lewis Potter or Utada. Maybe Henderson. It's Lewis Potter! It's into the wall. It was a poor effort, really. And referee's blowing up as a player's down holding his head. The Leeds player's gone down. Be all. But he's up on his feet immediately. As he was reminded by his teammates that if you do go down and get treatment, you're going off the pitch for 30 seconds. To be fair, he does takes that free kick on his forehead. It's really good defending by the Leeds player. And he's got to go off. You know, the referee stopped the play. You've got to go off. You've got to go off for 30 seconds. Get off the pitch. So Leeds are going to be down to 10 men for the remainder of the game, really. There's only a few seconds left, and Beale's got to go off the pitch for 30 seconds because the referee had to stop the play due to his head injury. Brentford made sure the referee enforced that rule. So there's a drop ball for Brentford on the halfway line. You'd imagine they're going to pump it forward. Henderson goes back to Kelleher. He pumps it forward. Leeds down to 10 men, and I'm not sure Beale's going to get back on the pitch here. Roden telling the referees, what's it? He's only enforcing the rules, that's all. Long throw for Brentford. Coyote's going to chuck it in from quite far back here. This is definitely last chance. Beale's coming back on. Last moment of the game. Coyote with a long throw. Oh, he's taking it short to pin. What are you doing? And the referee blows for full time. What's the... Anyway. What a stupid thing to do. Anyway, it's finished. Full time at Elland Road. Leeds United 0, Brentford 0. Let's summarise the game. Poor game. Crap game. Two poor teams. Wasn't very entertaining. The keepers barely had anything to do tonight. Darlow, Kelleher, barely anything. Let's have a quick look at the statistics, shall we? Let's have a little look. Brentford only had 6 shots. Leeds having 14. Only 6 shots on target between them. Not a great game of football. Their passing accuracy, look at that. That is stinking. Brentford's passing accuracy is 66%. That is absolute honking. 66% passing accuracy. All they were doing was booting it down the pitch and trying to put it over the top of the Leeds United defence, and it wasn't working. 66% pass success rate. That is terrible. Really terrible. But Leeds, that is bad for Leeds. That's another game where they failed to score. That's 3 games in a row now. They've not scored. They're struggling to score goals. 3 games. Sunderland at home, got beat. Palace away, drew 0-0. Brentford at home, drew 0-0. It's not solid form. It's not solid form from Leeds. That's 3 winnable fixtures and they've picked up 2 points. As a West Ham fan, I think that's a decent result for us. It's up to us now. We got to go get our business done. I think it's a good point. I will say, as much as I'm slagging off Brentford's statistics, that's a good point for Brentford. Looking at the league table, they're right behind Chelsea and Liverpool. Brentford, with 7 games to go, are in the race for Champions League football. Champions League football. Leeds United, well, they're in the race for Championship football. massive thank you for joining me. And please do drop a like on the video before you go. If you're new to Tartan Geo, please do subscribe. And once again, a massive thank you to everyone for joining me, keeping the company, interacting with me in the live chat, the super chats. I appreciate your support. I absolutely love it. And I'll catch up with you all on Monday. Thank you. I'll catch you in a bit.